What is up, guys? It is Barry Michael Doyle here, and this is episode 2 of the CodeFights arcade solutions that we're solving in JavaScript using ES6. So let's dive straight into it right now. So here we are at the CodeFights website. We're going to go back into arcade, and then back into our intro task, and then finally it's sending me down. We want to go check out the journey begins. So here we are at our centuryFromYear function. This is the second part of the arcade solutions that we're trying to solve. And let's just check out the description. First we have this. Given a year, return the century as in it. Return the century it is in. Sorry, I can't even speak English anymore. The first century spans from the year 1 up to and including the year 100. The second from the year 101 up to and including the year 200, etc. So for year where the year equals 1905, the output should be centuryFromYear with the year 1905 is equal to 20, because it is the 20th century. In the case of year 1700, the output should be 17, because this is just the end of the 17th century. So 1701 would actually give you 18, because that's the beginning of the 18th century. That's just how centuries work. It's really weird. I didn't get it as a child, and now I do get it, and I find it strange. Anyway, we have some time limits here. We've got to do it in 4,000 milliseconds. That's run the function. I mean, if it was figure it out, I would have failed already, because that's 4 seconds. But most of the stuff we do shouldn't take that long ever. That's quite a long JavaScript function that you're working on there. And we're given an integer as an input, which represents the year. And that's a positive integer designated to the year, or designating the year. And the guaranteed constraints is the year is definitely going to be between or equal to 1 up to 2005. So that's what the year constraints are. And the output, we just need to output an integer which is representing the number that the year is in. So let's get started. Now I'm going to write some comments to think about what we need to do here. So if we think about it, 1 to 101 should give us 1. 2, no, it's not 2. 101 to 200 should give us 2. 201 to 300 should give us 3, and etc. So if we think about it, let's say we had the year 268. Actually, let's do 233 because I want to make a point. And I want to figure out what century it is in. So the logical thing that we'd want to do is divide it by 100, because 100 is a century. And what does that give us? It gives us 2.33. Now, what do we expect the answer for this to be? 233, that year. That's actually the 3rd century, because it's leading up to the 3rd century. So this needs to be rounded up. So basically, we need to make a... Well, we just need to return whatever this is. So the year divided by 100, and somehow we have to figure out how to round it up. How are we going to do that? So let's just compact this a little bit, because we're going to be surrounding it in something. We have our year divided by 100, and that's going to be this divided by 100 gives us 2.33. Sorry, I can't even think and speak properly. What we need to do now is we need to figure out how we're going to round this up. Now, JavaScript has a really nice built-in class called math. So we just have math, and if I just comment this out for now, so ignore that there, it's off to the side. This math class has a bunch of functions. You can do math.random, and that returns a random number between 0 and 1. You can really manipulate that to get any number you want by using addition and multiplication there. You also get math.floor. Now, this will round down a number which is passed into it, which is pretty close to what we want to do. We want to round up, not down. So math has a whole bunch of other stuff like squirt. That's for getting the square root of a number and all that stuff. But we want to do math.ceil, and that actually stands for ceiling. So rounding up, if you think about it, because the ceiling is up and the floor is down. So if we floor something, we're rounding it down, and if we seal it, we are rounding it up. So what we want to do is, let's get rid of this comment here, get rid of all this stuff here, and we can just chuck this little, well, doesn't even matter. We can take this out. I'm cutting it out. And we are putting it in here. And now, just to clean up our code, well, let's make sure it works first. We run the test. And every test seems to pass. Even well, we can't tell the hidden ones. They'll only tell us if the hidden ones pass at the end of the submission. This is just small and hidden again. So anyway, it looks like our test passed. You know, if we put in year 20, we get the expected out. Well, we expect year 20 for 1905, and we get it. It's random test 5. 2001, you expect the century to be 21, which is awesome. We get that. So that all works. So let's clean up our comments finally. And we kind of know this works. I mean, I can submit, actually. We don't need semicolons in ES6 anymore, but I like to put them in sometimes anyway. If I'm doing multiple lines, I'll put them in. But to clean things up, because I'm going to make this smaller, I will leave them out. So that worked. Now, there we go. I'm position 39,763. I'm very proud of myself. The final thing I want to do here is make this more ES6 friendly. So let's call this const centuryFromYear, and that's going to equal the year parameter that we take. Since we're only taking one parameter, we don't even need these brackets. And then the only thing we're doing in here is returning something. So we can remove the curly brackets here and make them circle brackets. Well, not circle brackets, they're just normal round brackets. If I wanted to, I could put this on a new line. Even now that I think of it, I don't even need the brackets surrounding it. It just needs to do that. So we have this constant because it's a variable that's not going to change. This function, when you write a function, you don't programmatically change it. So that's always a const. We never really make functions let. I mean, maybe there's a case where you do that, but I've never had to do that before. We're calling it centuryFromYear. So if later on we wanted to say console.log centuryFromYear, we could say 2007, and it would give us the log. Oh, I can't spell console. That's pretty bad. And well, let's actually just run a test quickly to show you. So there we go. It logs now 20. Oh, that's weird. See, now I'm very confused. It logs 21. The expected. Oh no, sorry. No matter what the input is here for year, I forgot to say year here. I just said 2007. So if I said year, then that would have been correct. But now in all the test cases, it's going to say 21 because I logged the year of 2007. There we go. I'm not confused. But we don't need that. So that's just how you would use a function later on. You could just call the function with whatever parameter you want to put in. In our case, we'll put in year. And with the year, what we want to do with it is we want to return this. What comes after the arrow is what we return. We're returning math.seeding year divided by 100. So we're returning the year divided by 100 rounded up. Basically, all in short. Anyway, guys, that's going to cut it for this video. If you enjoyed this and learned some new things and would like more, please leave a like and subscribe to these videos. And leave some comments below. I'd really like to hear your feedback on this. Cool. Anyway, keep well, guys. Ciao.